welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This is going to be a Celtic FC Women edition, a Celtic Girls edition. So for those who don't follow the Celtic Girls, the Celtic FC Women side, just a wee bit of an advance warning. However, I will be doing a video about the main Celtic team later on today, hopefully uploading mid-late afternoon today, Thursday, the 5th of September. This video, as I said, going to be about the Celtic women's side. They had in the end, very convincing 3-1 win over KUPS, the Finnish women's champions, yesterday in the semi-final of round 1 of the Women's Champions League. That puts them into the final on Saturday, the 7th, which will be at 4 o'clock British summer time. And the game is going to be against the Lithuanian champions Gintra. So Gintra will be playing on their home pitch and their home dressing room, etc. And so it does give them a wee bit of an advantage. Good news is it does look like the game will be covered live in the UK on TNT Sports. So for those who are lucky enough to have TNT Sports, the game will be on in the afternoon at 4 o'clock British summer time. Don't know if the game will be available in any other way on TV. It was available as a pay-per-view from the Lithuanian TV channel for the game against KUPS, and I personally watched the game via a mixture of a YouTube site that uses graphics and text to keep you up to date with where the ball is and who's on the attack and all the stats, and also the BBC Scotland sports site, and a mixture of the two kept me up to date. It was actually quite exciting when the graphic on the YouTube live channel said Celtic on the attack, then Celtic dangerous attack, and in the end those dangerous attacks by Celtic ended up with us scoring 3 goals. So Celtic didn't get off to the best start. KUPS started on the front foot. They had a few attacks. Celtic weren't not in the game, just KUPS seemed to start better. And then there was a mistake in midfield by Matilda Carsons, which allowed the KUPS team through, and their Nigerian international Arehu scored to put KUPS ahead. Celtic did start to get more and more back into the game, and Celtic did actually have quite a number of promising attacks. Later in the first half, the Finnish goalkeeper made a number of saves. Celtic had a number of misses, and the KUPS defence did a good job clearing crosses and corners as Celtic piled on the pressure. In addition, Kelsey Doherty, both in the first half and in the second half, did make a number of vital saves, initially keeping Celtic in the match, and then once we did equalise, keeping us on an even score with KUPS going into extra time. Celtic did appear up until about the hour mark just to be lacking that wee bit of pace out wide and that wee bit of firepower and directness in attack. So at the 62-minute mark, Elena Sidiku made a very bright substitution, and to be fair, it was one I was suggesting myself to someone I was having a chat online with. It was a suggestion that we could bring on Kit Lefarsky for her extra pace up front, and Saoirse Noonan for her aerial ability and her ability to be more of a target centre forward rather than a pacey centre forward. And as I said, at the 62-minute mark, on came Noonan and Lefarsky, off went Carsons and Agnew, and later on, we also brought on Jenny Smith and Maria McInerney, and I think their extra pace out wide will be of benefit in the game against Gintra on Saturday. I think Hannah Kerner and Lucy Ashworth-Clifford are both very skillful players, very good ball players, very good at passing and crossing, but both, I think, lack that wee bit of pace to get in behind. And so I do wonder whether on Saturday, whether Elena Sidikou might well start Noonan and Laferske up front and use the pace of players such as Murphy Agnew, Jenny Smith, Maria McInerney for the wide positions. I think that actually would be very much in Celtic's favour and would play to the strengths of the Noonan and Laferske as a front partnership. We then have the options of playing Amy Gallagher behind that with the Carson sisters in midfield. I think that would be a good attacking option for Saturday. But I will leave all the selection and tactical information worries to Elena Sidikou, as I do think she is an excellent head coach of Celtic. Almost as soon as Saoirse Noonan came on, she managed to score Celtic's equaliser. It was a cross into the box, which the Finnish goalkeeper mishandled, and Saoirse Noonan knocked the ball into the net to put us level. And to be fair, for the last 30 minutes up until the final whistle, Celtic were very much the team on top. Had the great majority of the attacks, great majority of the corners and dangerous situations, but couldn't quite get the ball in the net to win the game in normal time. Kelsey Docherty, as I said, did make a couple of very good saves in that final 30 minutes to keep Celtic even. And so went into extra time. Almost as soon as we got into extra time, Laferske set up Saoirse Noonan for her second goal. And then in the 97th minute, so 7 minutes into extra time, Saoirse Noonan got the goal that pretty much guaranteed the victory, putting us 3-1 up. KUPS did try to come back on the attack. Celtic had a couple of shouts for penalties also during the game, which were turned down by the ref. And KUPS did have a couple of dangerous situations in the extra time periods, but Kelsey Docherty and the Celtic defence held them out, and we won 3-1 in the end. Now, just looking at some of the stats, I think this does show that Celtic were the dominant side over the whole 90 minutes plus 30 minutes extra time. Possession was 62-38 in Celtic's favour. Shots were 16-11 in Celtic's favour. The stats say 3 on targets for Celtic and 1 on target for KUPS, with 13 off targets for Celtic and 10 off targets for KUPS. I think the channel that provided those stats has combined actual off targets with shots that were saved by the goalkeeper, because both the Finnish goalkeeper and Kelsey Docherty did make a number of saves during the game. Corners were 15-9 in favour of Celtic, and the channel also who did the stats said that attacking situations were 120-74 for Celtic, and dangerous attacks was 62-42. Not entirely sure what that stat means specifically, other than the fact that it showed Celtic were much more on the attack than KUPS, and much more in the dangerous attack, i.e. Getting the ball into the box, much more than KUPS. It does show in terms of possession, corners, shots on goal, shots at goal, and attacking situations and dangerous attacking situations, Celtic were the dominant side, and I think over the whole 120 minutes, Celtic very much deserved to win. Looking ahead, the game, as I said, is against Gintra, who are the Lithuanian champions, and they have been Lithuanian champions for many years. They did play Glasgow City at a corresponding stage last year. Glasgow City beat them 3-0 in Glasgow. And looking at Gintra's last 5 games, they have 1 win, which was their win yesterday. In the other semi-final game in round 1, they have 3 draws and 1 loss. And so they don't seem to be necessarily on the best form at the moment. They are actually ranked higher in Europe than Celtic. That's primarily due to the fact that they have played so many games in the Champions League qualifiers in various different stages. And I am hopeful that Celtic will win the game on Saturday, although with Gintra playing on their own pitch, their own dressing room, their own stadium, with, I would guess, the massive majority of the fans, all those do act as factors not in Celtic's favour. So, just to finish off, a wee suggestion: if you are new to the channel and like coverage of the Celtic women's side, which isn't really covered by any of the other YouTube channels, please do click that subscribe button. If you like Celtic as a football club and you haven't subscribed to the channel before either, do click that subscriber button. Keep the numbers pushing up to the 1,000 mark. That would be wonderful. If you like the video, please do click the like button and do pop your comments regarding the Celtic women's side, in this case, into the comment section. What you thought regarding the game, the performances, what kind of selection we should go for on Saturday, and any other Celtic women's side issues that you wish to debate, discuss on the channel. So that finishes things off. I'll do a post-match review of the Celtic women's game on Sunday. Hopefully the TNT Sports coverage is now being promoted, available at 4 o'clock British Summer Time on Saturday the 7th. And I'm looking forward to watching the game live, and I'm looking forward to the Girls winning and getting into round 2. Round 2 will be a home and away 2-legged affair. So, until Sunday's video, goodbye and hail, hail.